Hello and welcome to the virtual orientation for the Meech Lake Triathlon. So this event has been going on for over 40 years, since 1983, and since his passing it's been in memory of Mike Collingwood, one of the original race directors for the event. Now this event is one of the logistically most complicated because there's two separate transition zones and some logistics in between. So if you haven't done this race before, please watch this whole video. Email us if you have any questions so that you're prepared for race day. And if you've done this race before, not a thing has changed. We still do it the way we always have. So if you've done it before, you'll know it well, but please make sure you watch this video to make sure you've got everything just right and ready for race day. So for the orientation, I'll go in chronological order. We'll do a little spiel about pre-race, then talk about the swim course, the bike course, the run course, and then post-race. Let's get started. Pre-race. My number one suggestion, if I can, is to pick up your bib the day before the race. It makes race day much easier and gives you one less thing to do. So on Friday, July 12th from 3 to 6 p.m., you can pick up your bib at Sports 4 in the Glebe. It's their new location that opened up only a year or so ago. So if you're not familiar with it, we highly recommend coming to check it out for the bib pickup and for all your running shoe needs. If you cannot pick it up the day before, you can pick it up on race day at the finish line, starting at 7 a.m. You can also have someone pick up your bib for you, so if you wanted to, you can send one person down to grab the whole kit, and you can all meet up on race day and sort out whose is whose. That's always an option as well. Now, for the pre-race, let's go ahead and talk about how the morning will flow. So if you have not picked up, we'll assume in this case that you have not picked up your race bib, and we'll add that into the flow of the day. But if you have picked up your race bib, you can ignore that part of this conversation. I'll use my cursor to point us around, but let me know if you have any questions afterwards by sending me an email. So when you drive up to Gatineau Park, you can park either at P10 or P9, one or the other. From there, what you'll do is you'll walk or you'll bike, because you'll have your bike with you, bike over to the finish line, which is right over here. So if you know the intersection of Fortune, the Fortune Parkway, and then Meech Lake Road here, it's going to be right over here where it always has been. If you're on this road here, you'll notice the gates are closed. You'll see some signage here. It'll be hard to miss the action going on right over here. You'll see everybody else going there. You'll see all of our purple banners and whatnot. But regardless of whether you've picked up your bib or not, make sure you stop by the finish line, because you have to do a few things. You have to drop off your run gear, so drop off your running shoes, sunglasses, whatever you might wear for just the run. You'll have to pick up your bib if you haven't already. Pick up your timing chip, so your sports stats ankle chip, and do your body marking. So all those things are done right over here. So a lot of activity to do here. Once that's done, you'll hop on your bike and you'll ride all the way down to here. One quick note, we've inverted T1 and T2. This should actually say T1 and that should say T2, but it's the first thing you do and the second thing you do, so maybe we'll play it off that way. So when you get over here to parking lot P11, you'll drop off your bike, set up your transition zone for the bike, and what you'll need to do is put everything that you're going to wear for the swim, you'll put it on and go down to the beach, but you'll also put a bag here for your post-swim stuff. Follow me in a second here. Afterwards, you go to the beach and you get ready for your swim. You'll put a pair of running shoes here. So when the race starts, here's what happens. The gun goes off, you'll do your swim, a nice triangle here from the water. You'll come out of the water and you'll put on a pair of shoes, because the run from the beach to T1 is rocks and roots. So it's not something that we recommend wearing no shoes for. So put your shoes on, run all the way to T1. You'll take off your shoes, take off your swim cap, your wetsuit, your goggles, and put them all in a bag. We'll give you a little sticker with your bib number on it. So if you have a big grocery bag or a transition zone bag or whatnot, you'll have like your race bib number on there with a sticker. Put all your stuff in one bag, and then hop on your bike and go do the bike course. Then you do the bike course, you'll come on back, drop it off here, pick up your run gear, do your run, and then finish. But the important thing here is that once you're done your swim and you hop on your bike, our team is going to take all these bags and bring them to the finish line for you. It is crucial that you put everything in one bag, you seal it up, and you make sure that your bib number is on it. It'll make picking up your bib or your bag at the finish line infinitely easier. Last year we had a few people that forgot and their stuff was all strung out all over the place, and we were trying to find a left shoe here, a right shoe there, and it just made the finish line a lot longer than it needed to be. So if you can, bring one big bag, so when you come out of the water, you're taking off your swim goggles, taking off your the top part of your wetsuit and whatnot. And when you get here, it takes an extra 2 seconds just to stuff it all in a bag and close the zipper, and you'll leave it there, and we will bring it to the finish line for you. So when your race is done, all of your equipment will be right here at the finish line. So just to summarize, make sure you bring 2 pairs of running shoes, one to leave at the finish line for your run portion of the race, and one that you can wear all the way to the swim start and wear to the bike mountain line. Make sure you bring a bag for your bike transition zone to put all your swim gear in, and make sure you go through this list once more to make sure you haven't forgotten anything. So I hope that makes sense. If not, send us an email. Okay, the swim itself, a beautiful swim through Meech Lake. It's going to be chip timing, so your time won't start until you cross over the timing chip or the timing mat. So unless you plan on being the first one out of the water, we say don't be the first one in the water. That way, you're all spread out nicely and you're in a spot where you're not going to get caught in the quote-unquote washing machine. It'll be one mass start, but again, you'll all be thinned out and there's no rush to be the first one in the water. You'll follow the course here going counterclockwise. One big loop coming back to the beach. Once you get to the beach, you'll grab your running shoes that you left there. You'll run all the way to the parking lot, take off your running shoes, your swim cap, goggles, wetsuit, put that in a bag at T1, and then hop on the bike. Now the bike course, equally as beautiful. It starts with a big hill, so you're going to go from P11 all the way up Fortune, making a left-hand turn, at Fortune, going down past Mackenzie King Estate, left here over to Penguin, and to the bike dismount line, which is also the finish line. So make sure you know the loop. If you're not familiar with a park loop, it's basically one big internal park loop. So you don't go all the way to Champlain Lookout, you just make that left-hand turn. And when you get to the intersection here with the stop sign, you go left, keep going through. It's fairly straightforward, but we'll have volunteers at those key intersections with a flag pointing in the right direction. Similarly, the run is to die for and is very straightforward. So you've dropped off your bike at the finish line. We will rack it for you. From there, you turn around, grab your shoes, you run all the way down to P8, all the way back to the finish line. And that's it. So there's only one distance at this race. Pretty straightforward stuff. There's no worrying about, if I'm doing this distance, do I turn here? If I'm doing that distance, do I turn there? It's all going to be one course for everybody. And then once the race is finished, we'll have a bit of an award ceremony around 10 a.m. Most people should be done by then, so we'll try and get the top results printed out by then. It's always hard to get the printer to work in Gatineau Park because of the poor reception, so we'll do our best to get everything sorted out in time. Otherwise, your results will be at sportstats.ca pretty instantly after the race, barring any connection issues. The photos will be available at photos.somersault.ca a day or two after the race. We have a couple thousand photos from every race that we have to tag and filter, so give us a bit of time to get that done. Otherwise, feel free to enjoy some Libra non-alcoholic beer, some other snacks at the finish line to celebrate a job well done and hang out with your competitors. And that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. It's adam@somersault.ca. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you at bib pickup or at the very least at the start line.